All right, welcome back to the channel. I'm here today with two duelists who are responsible for this deck that they call Fishborg Frogs, aka Forgs. It is not misspelled wrong at the bottom. That is actually what it is named, Forgs. So they built this deck, or I guess Allisdair, you built it, and then Adam got top 8 at UK Nationals with it. Is that how it worked? What's the process?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, so
Yeah,
what is the logic behind this deck? Explain to me, like, what's going on here? Why is it built this way? I've never seen a frog deck look like this. I've seen all of these cards played in different variations, but never all together like this. So what was the logic and how did you come up with this?
So first of all, I think the three sort of big decks in the format, you've got Hero Frogs, Black Wings, Vayu. I think you're not going to get a huge edge by playing those decks because the only real edge you can get is via gameplay. And there are a lot of really competent players who can play the game. They might be able to play a perfect game against you, even if you play a perfect game against them. You're not going to get a huge advantage either way because there's no real way to guarantee winning the matchup.
Yep.
And this isn't a way to guarantee winning, but it's a different way of playing, and it's potentially way more unfair than any of those three decks. If you consider like Dragon Turbo and the best hands that deck can draw, that deck is unfair and it feels like a few years ahead of Edison format.
Yeah.
This one also feels like that too, in the sense that the boards that you can put out and the combos that you can do are completely unhinged and unreasonable for any other deck in the format to even comprehend. So that's why we're playing the deck. We came to the deck through quite a lot of testing over the last month in the build up to this national Ultimate Time Wizard event. I've been playing on the ranked ladder, just trying to perfect the deck. I realized that Des Frog was quite a nice card to get off of Substitute because it's searchable pressure, which I know that you've played a lot of Frogs, Frazier, yourself,
Yes.
and maybe you would kind of understand that Substitute is a brilliant card, but what it lacks in typical Hero Frog decks is there's no way to be aggressive with just
Yeah.
Substitute alone.
It's very
So
defensive,
Frog,
if anything.
yeah, it sets up your engine while also giving you access to the Juplog, which is a defensive utility play, and it's good. But this takes it a step further by giving you access to Des Frog, which in turn gives you access to synchro plays. This deck makes the most out of Substitute, which in my opinion is the most broken card in the format that you are able to play three of. You may think differently, but I think Substitute is the
No,
best.
I
And it
fully
also
agree. As someone who just won Ultimate Time Wizard tournament because of this card is it gets banned immediately, like after the next pack comes out, the Shining Darkness, where it becomes an FTK deck. It's so broken. I agree.
exactly, it's absolutely insane, and it allows you to abuse other cards that will also go on in the future to get banned. Fishbowl Blaster, and also Pot of Avarice. Pot of Avarice in particular, a card that I think is, and I'm sure no one can deny, an absolutely ridiculous card, but in Edison format, I don't think it's particularly found the deck which it can really thrive in. You can truly say that card is broken.
Yeah.
You know, it's seen use in like Machina decks and quick draw decks, but those decks kind of suck. So like it's not great. I mean, in particular, quick draw sucks.
Yeah, that deck is not real. And the other decks are just too slow, whereas Frogs can actually play this card on turn 1 consistently.
Exactly, and since the deck is geared to find and Substitute, you have Mother Grizzly to search it. You have Salvage in combination with Swap Frog, which can search it. You have so much access to it than other Frog decks, so it's kind of going to be online more than often, and it fulfills a dual purpose in this deck in that it's kind of acting as an extender when you've got Fishbowl Blaster, because Fishbowl Blaster, you can do more summons with the more cards that you have in your hand, and Pot of Avarice being a +1 gives you more Fishbowl summons. So it's kind of fulfilling a dual purpose. And it's cards like Avarice and stuff that extends you like that, like Avarice, Dandelion in particular, discarding that for Fishbowl Blaster, just a flat out +2 with Substitute to convert the tokens into something real. That's when the deck starts to get really, really
Yeah,
unhinged.
Dandelion's been getting abused lately.
Yeah, it is really good. It's the least important combo piece to the deck strategy because first of all you want to see Substitute and then you want to see Fishbowl Blaster. Those are the two ones. But when you have those two going, Dandelion is what kind of pulls it all together. You don't need Dandelion to play or anything like that, but
Right.
when you see Dandelion, it's just kind of like game on the spot because you go so far ahead.
It's kind of like
You know,
Black Whirlwind. Like you play two of it, and if you see it, it's like, yeah, I went on the spot, but Black Wings is still a good deck even without Whirlwind.
Exactly, yeah. And no deck can really compete with how unfair this deck can get in certain scenarios. Imagine Dragon Ruler. Not sorry, not sorry, not Dragon Ruler, Dragon Turbo. Imagine if it had access to the dupe block.
Yeah,
So
that
you
would
have
be,
a
oh my
way to,
God.
yeah. So it's playing at the same kind of unfair Yu-Gi-Oh as Dragon Turbo, but it can defend itself really, really well as well, and it can play in the grinds. So you kind of solve a lot. I'm not saying that the decks have similar play styles, but I'm saying they're a similar power level. You can control a lot of the flaws that the that kind of deck has, because your deck has a natural engine which can stop you from getting pressured by certain aggro decks. Because you know a big flaw to playing a deck with loads and loads of engine cards is you can't really fit defensive cards in, but the engine is a defense, so you can play and transition from playing defensively to aggressively whenever the situation calls for it.
Yep.
So, and I also think a matchup against most of the decks in the format is very, very strong. You will, most of the time, you will beat the Hero Frog matchup because of your easy accessibility to Colossal Armory Arm.
Yeah, I
That
noticed
deck doesn't play.
you play two colossal, two army arms, so immediately I thought, oh, this must be it's almost like the fish FTK deck with the coelacanth, but without having to play that card and draw that card.
So it's funny that you say that because the fish deck was kind of what inspired me to build this because you play the frogs with the fish together, and I've tried that deck before as well. And I realized that you struggle to win games when you don't see Coelacanth fast enough, but you can still, just with the frogs alone. And I was like, well, if you play Des Frog, you have pressure, you have ways to synchro, and you kind of just circumvent needing to see the coelacanth, and you kind of just need to see Substitoad. I don't really know if that makes sense, but
No, I kind of like that. Your deck doesn't really because the problem with fish is like you said, you need to draw the big fish, and if you don't, you play all of these bricks in your deck that just suck without big fish access. Like they're not really good cards on their own usually. But in this deck, you're playing all the frog cards, which are all enabled just through Substitoad by itself. So I get the consistency of this deck is probably way higher than fish.
yeah, a lot higher. And because you don't need to see as many combo cards, and you're not playing as many sort of brick cards like you said. And it can consistently do the same type of kills and OTKs that the fish deck can do, but at the same time, it can grind a lot better because I found that with the coelacanth, once you make your coelacanth play, that's kind of like all or nothing. Because if you don't win the game the turn that you do that, you are quite likely to just they'll push back on your board and you will probably lose the
Yeah.
game. Whereas now you've got three avarice, which is a good way to recover. You have ability to you play multiple Des Frogs, so you can continue on the next turn if they break your board. A lot of the time you will use Swap Frog to bounce the Substitoad to your hand, so you'll end the turn with Substitoad in hand, so you can play the following turn. So you kind of set yourself up after already doing a great play. The frog engine itself is actually pretty overloaded, I think, in terms of what it can do and the utility that it provides, even outside of being able to OTK. Cards like Unifrog, even more accessible in this deck than in Hero Frogs because of your access to Substitoad, and you can absolutely spam the board with Fishbowl Blaster to be able to get like two on the field at the same time, so you can take two back rows off your opponent. Gives you a much better Blackwing matchup because the Black Whirlwind's pretty much never going to stick on the field, and particularly against Blackwings, very nice interaction. Substitoad means that your frogs can't be destroyed by battle, obviously, but this is very relevant with Desfrog. It means you can crack into stuff like Bora and Shura, and if they have Kalut, it won't be destroyed by battle. So you can kind of just force that out of their hand, and you just take a little bit of damage, which is worth it. So that's a really nice interaction that the deck has. Flip Flop Frog is something that's really intrinsically important to the deck, because it gives you a really nice way to answer fully established boards.
Yep.
But at the same time, it also prevents your opponent from setting up certain boards as well. If you have an established Flip Flop Frog set down, they won't be able to set Raikou. They won't be able to do, like, if you say they're playing against zombies, they won't be able to like set Pyramid Turtle, stuff like that. They can't set up sometimes with certain hands. Flip Flop Frog will kind of solo them, and it gives you kind of really solid matchups against
Yeah.
Titanial
It's like
decks
a
as
soft
well.
lock.
Yeah, it's a soft lock, and like decks like Amaryllis is usually quite difficult for Hero Frog, but for this, just because of Flip Flop Frog, it's it's actually just almost an auto win, because you have Flip Flop to deal with Titanial,
Yeah, it
and
doesn't
also
target.
Yeah, it doesn't target, and you have these like plays where you can pressure their defense position Amaryllis. You can summon like Flamvel Uraquizas and equip Armory onto it, and that's just flat out 5,300 damage. So if they've taken a bit of damage, they have to be super careful because you can just kill them out of nowhere. If you can go Flamvel Uraquizas plus double Armory on, that's just game over a defense position Amaryllis.
Wow.
So yeah, that's so that matchup is pretty much an auto win. You have a much more solid Blackwing match, which is really hard for Hero Frog, and the trap stuns really help that matchup, in particularly game one as well. You can just kind of trap stuns a card that gives you a free turn, and you can just capitalize with the Unifrogs. You can maybe OTK them. There are OTK lines if you've got a certain amount of cards in hand where you can just Bryonac their monster, and if they're under trap stun, you can just put out 8,000 damage and kill them. The deck isn't an OTK deck, but it has access to stuff like that.
Right, like
Blackwing
it's
is a
not just trying
hard
to do that
matchup.
can grind.
Yeah, it does both, depending on the situation. Out of all of the big decks, Blackwing's still probably the hardest matchup, as is the case. I'm sure you'll understand that by playing Frogs yourself. Blackwings just kind of play well into the deck.
Yeah, there's
But
just
you
so much
have
pressure early. If you don't get set up really early, then it's like kind of hard.
Yeah, exactly. And it is the case for this deck as well. But you have a lot more tools to deal with what they do, and you have a lot more power in your deck to set up an unbreakable board. You can go into Stardust very easily, and then that can play around their Icarus attacks and stuff like that. In game 2 and 3, it does get a little bit harder because then they'll have access to deck dev and oppression and stuff like that.
Yeah, this does look like a deck devy nightmare. I'm looking at it, and yeah, a lot of this deck gets hit by deck devy.
Deck dev is a kind of a blowout card against the deck sometimes. I mean, you have triple trapstone, so if you can catch the
Yeah,
deck
if
dev
it's
with
not
trap,
turn one, yeah.
yes, and turn one, it's quite rare for a deck like Blackwing to be able to set up a deck dev turn one
I
because
agree.
they can't exactly. So you can get the trapstone set against them. In decks like Vayu, it's a bit harder to block it. You do side out a trapstone for 3DD Crow for that reason.
Yep.
Trapstone not being so good against the deck that can play Raikou, it's not going to really have a high chance of lasting on the field anyway. So, you put in Crow, and that can help you survive being deck dev because they might not be able to summon their monster. So you have ways to not be deck dev'd, but I will admit, if they resolve it, it can be quite breaking, like get back breaking. Salvage is quite a good recovery card if you get deck dev, but other than that, it's not fantastic. I won't lie.
Yeah.
But in my experience of playing Yu-Gi-Oh historically, if you have a deck with a really strong engine, and I do believe that this is the Frog engine is the strongest engine in Edison format. The blowout cards, of which they're usually the best deck in any format, can get floodgated, can lose to blowout cards, but still the deck will over a large sample size of games still win more than it loses just because of the sheer power of its engine. And I kind of believe that with this deck as well.
So real quick, what matchups did you play in top, like not just top 8, but like throughout your top 8 run? Adam, what did you go against? Do you remember?
Yeah. So round 1 I played against like Light Swan. Round 2 was Christia Swan. Round 3 was Blackwings. 4 and 5 were both fairies. 6 was Hero Beat, just like straight Hero Beat without
Diva
Miracle Fusions. It's actually against it was actually one of our friends that we came down with. So we actually knew the exact 70 cards he was playing. And then and then the last round was GBs, which I ended up losing to a fairies and obviously the GBs as well. I mean, GBs just hammers frogs. Like he was ready RNing so much, I think he was punching cards from a binder at some point. Like so bad. And then top 8, I lost to Blackwings. I made quite a big mistake game 1 because I was getting pressured early, and I left the Unifrog in attack position when I easily could have just switched it to defense or tributed. And I had a subblock board that lost the brain control of Bukamoon, and he had Bukamoon. And then game 2, I got like double Dyna deck deved, which
oh my god,
was quite hard to beat.
Yeah, that sounds like that's unfortunate, but still a really good run. And then you played against a lot of weird decks too, like double fairies, Light Sworn, and Christia Sworn. Like that's a usually nowadays, especially in the States, you play a lot of Vayu, Blackwing, and you get a smattering of the other decks, but not that much. But a lot of Vayu, a lot of Blackwings, and then you do have your GBs, your your fairies or Christius one or whatever, but you might play like one of those in a tournament. Like you might play one.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't really want to play against fairies with this deck as well, simply because of Herald of Orange Light kind of just ends your turn. Christian's not so bad because it's kind of hard for them to summon quite early on in the game.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to
Herald
crash 4 fairies into your guy because you never have anything that they can really do that too. So yeah.
And even if there's something like a Christian dupe block, you still have time to find like flip flop or something. But like the ideal board would be like dupe block plus Stardust and a flip flop, because that way at least the Stardust protects flip flop from Orange Light.
Yep.
And that's how I won like a few games as fairies as well.
Yeah, you have double cover cut on the side deck too.
The Chris, yeah.
Is this for an out to False Diner or something?
Yeah. So against some decks that it's mainly for frogs and hero frogs. Decks that need to commit to the board to like break your dupe block or like basically beat your established board. They might summon like a Caius or something, and generally those decks don't play a lot of back row. So Beel's Frog gives you access to Colossal Army Arm a lot easier. So if they summon a Monarch into your established board and don't set a back row, you just Colossal Army Arm it.
Oh, it's a
it also gives you
3-star.
access, yeah. So it also gives you access to double Army Arm Colossal. So it happened a few times during testing where like we're playing against Hero Frogs and summon a Stratos, and we just FTK them. Since there's a cool play you can do where you synchro with Beels and Fishborg, you summon a dupe frog, you summon a swap to send the dupe to add the Beels back. You bounce a swap, normal summon the Beels you've just added, pitch a swap for a Fishborg, it's a second Army Arm. It comes up like occasionally, but it's useful in sort of those matchups.
Yeah.
It's for the matchups really that don't play any back row, so like you can just Colossal Army on them freely. And those tend to be the Frog and Hero Frog decks. I don't think anything else to add out.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty cool. I want to see how this deck actually plays on the ladder. So if you don't mind, you guys want to go on ladder with me real quick?
Yeah, sure. I have been playing the deck myself on the ladder quite a lot. I think I'm still top 10. I haven't played in a week or something, but I am ranked in the top 10. I've only played this deck on that count. So it's clearly can perform well on the ladder, I think.
Yeah, I think frogs in general on the ladder are really, really good.
Yeah, they are.
It's called Forg. That's great. All right, so we have the deck in DB now, and now I know how to play regular frogs, but in terms of this type of build, we're going to see, because it should be interesting.
A few moments later.
He went down the line. Yeah, we get to go first.
49 card deck.
Oh god, his deck is huge. Yeah, okay, well, his deck is probably not real. All right, oh, our hand has to be good.
Our hand is good, yeah. So it doesn't have any extenders in the hand, and when I say extenders, I mean like, cards that give you plus ones like Avarice, Salvage, and Dandy.
Yeah.
So in this type of hand, you have two options, and I think because you have Heavy Storm, which clears your play for the following turn, I think your play once again is to normal summon Swap Frog, send Treeborn, and bounce it back, and then pass. Only because you have Heavy Storm, so you can play into their board kind of unopposed. If you didn't have Heavy Storm, your best play would be to establish something with Substitoad.
All right, let's see what we're on. He's playing a lot of cards, so this could be anything. There's gonna be like reptiles or some weird shit.
Bruh.
Okay, well, I was right. It's actually reptiles. That is so fucking. That's so unhinged. Because my Yu-Gi-Oh sense is unhinged, bro. I've played this game for too long, and I just like have a sixth sense. That was so wild. It's so wild. That's what he's gonna be playing reptiles. He fucking summoned the reptile immediately. That is actually so scary. Oh god. I never just cease to amaze myself sometimes. That is crazy. All right. I think we just full send it, right? Like I'm not playing around Starlight Road in a 49 card deck. Like if you got it, bro. Yep. Okay, oppression. Now that is
amazing here.
Yeah. All right.
What's that thing's attack? Is it 16?
16, yeah.
Okay, what does it do?
It doesn't do anything.
I've never seen it in my life.
All right, so are we just like generic frog combo here? Like, what's the play? Is there a thing to do?
So you don't necessarily need to do that. So I would take out generic frog combo here because you've got quite a lot of plays. You have 7 cards available to you, but 6 when you discard the Fishborg to summon the Swap Frog from your hand. This isn't. You're missing 1 card to be able to kill them. So here, let's just go through the deck a little bit. So in this deck, you kind of want to keep frogs in the deck, because you want a bit of more longevity. So I go swap frog, send a substitute, and we want to leave one swap frog in the deck. So keep that swap frog out for now. Well, it doesn't matter.
Right.
We'll just get a Des Frog. So summon a Des Frog, and then we'll go into our hand, and we will pitch the Fishbowl Blaster to special summon the swap frog. Yeah, and then we'll send another substitute to the grave. And then we can summon Fishborg from the grave, so we'll pitch Treeborn. And now you could probably just synchro summon for a Goyo with the Des Frog and the Fishborg.
This seems pretty good.
Yeah, and you can continue on, so we'll summon another Fishborg from the grave by pitching the Des Frog from your hand.
Yep.
And now we have to think about what the best thing to get is. If it's I think we probably want to send the Fishborg to the grave for another Des Frog, for the third one in the deck. So quite a nice big combo here, and we want to leave it at this because we're going to attack. We need room on the field when we're going to attack over. That thing doesn't do anything when it's destroyed by battle, right?
Nope.
It doesn't, right? Okay. Nice, and then we'll just attack from lowest to highest.
I'm gonna do this first, because if he drops scores and I still have Des Frog, so this is actually the correct way to attack here.
Yeah.
Alright,
and then main 2, so you can just use substitute to sack off his alien dude, and get a Duke Frog.
Are we bouncing this back to our hand?
So what you can do here is actually bounce the. You have multiple options, so you can bounce the substitute back to your hand with Swap Frog. You're not maybe okay. You can do that, and then you can pitch the Unifrog from your hand for Fishborg to summon, and then you can synchro summon with Swap Frog, Des Frog, and Fishborg for Stardust Dragon. And that will protect your board. I was just saying that was an option there. I didn't expect you to just do it straight away.
Yeah, well, we're playing against another person, so I like to not take too long, like just talking about it, because then they get frustrated. So you got to be quicker. It's, you know.
I get you.
Yeah, like I just want you to tell me whatever the play that you would do is. Like I understand that there are multiple options. There's like always a million options with frog decks, but whatever the correct play that you would do is. Yeah. So usually people get frustrated because if you take like super long, they're like, I don't want to sit there while this guy is just trying to like.
I think that guy couldn't really answer the board anyway. I think he just quickly lost.
I don't think he could either with his 49 card deck. I think that we are. All right, let's see. Let's try it. Head A2. Okay, that's a name. Still not drawing any of the spells that I want to see, like Salvage and Pot Avarice. The dueling book is being very cruel. The double dupe frog hand too. So are you summoning swap or are you setting dupe?
Here I'm gonna say I'd rather set dupe. Do you agree, Adam?
Either that or Grizzly, but I think dupe's fine.
Grizzly's not
the
bad.
reason is obviously you can crash Grizzly in their board though as well. So at least dupe leaves you on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, let's try this.
But it can also just add like something, and then you've got Swap Frog as sort of a special summon. I don't know what these guys.
It's on the standby phase. It sends a plant, so he's gonna try to send Dandelion or Amaryllis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Oh, okay. So he needs that to live. And as of right now, I don't know if I'm clearing that. So okay.
I think it's better to get the Treeborn online now. So I would normal summon the Swap Frog, send the Treeborn. And then bounce it back to your hand, and with the additional normal, I would summon the flip flop.
Okay.
And then set it, because you can't attack it with this plant guy because you can't protect it.
Alright, so he's gonna get the Foolish Burial, probably Dandelion.
Probably, yeah.
But
We have prepared
flip-flop's
ourselves
really
for
good
that.
against the sort of plant boards as well.
It is.
It's essentially like Regeki against some decks. It may as well be.
It could just be something absolutely wild, though, that I've never seen before.
Oh no, not something absolutely wild.
Plague.
No.
Interesting.
What? Oh. Oh wow. Level 3 or
Okay.
lower. Okay, this card's better than I thought. What the fuck? He still has a bit of a problem though on my field.
He does. I mean, he has access to Brionac, but it's quite a committal investment. If he
Yeah,
does
I would
that,
love
'cause
if he went into Brio and just used so many of his cards.
But if he doesn't, he will kind of get ruined by Flip Flop Frog.
Yeah,
Next
Flip Flop is
turn.
really strong here. Oh. Well,
I mean, these are some weird draws. I don't really see a reason why we wouldn't get Treeborn back here.
yeah.
Yep, so here I think play is we have a way to protect Uni on the board, so I would just try and summon Unifrog and hit in. Probably best though, hang on. It's probably
Summon
best
swap.
to summon Swap Frog
Yeah.
first and then send something. Send another Treeborn.
And then bounce an extra normal summon. Yep.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Would you bounce the Treeborn here and then use the extra normal summon on Unifrog just to have an extra card in your hand?
I don't. It's just if he finds a way to break the board, which he does have with Plague Spread, I'd rather keep the Swap Frog in the hand.
Okay.
So yeah, just summon this and then attack his 5 points.
Good.
Very
I'm
fast.
glad we didn't do the other player. Okay.
And then we'll just flip that and then reset it.
This is gonna be annoying. Alright, he has 7 cards. He needs to start committing more.
He does, and the moment we see a Substitute, we are really looking good. But I think we're looking good anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Rhoda. I wonder what he's playing, because this is not Amaryllis or anything like that. It's probably that. Yeah, I've seen this before.
Okay. Is he summoning power? Is it Power Troop Tool Dragon Death or something like that?
Yeah, and I think he gets the tomato out here. Yep. I mean, this is not modern, bro. I don't have Valor. Yep, Graveros, tomato, whatever. It's all the same. We know he has tomato in his hand because he revealed the turn 1. Okay.
Yeah.
he
So
can
this
make
Black Rose Dragon, if he summons it, isn't going to be bad for us at all. If he uses this effect, that's fine. I mean, the Treeborn was free, and the Duke Frog floats. So
What are we getting with dupe here?
I would get probably the Flip Flop from the grave.
Okay. Yep, that's fair, because this is the only one you play, whereas Unifrog, you
Yeah.
do main 2 copies of it, so you can get that.
Yeah. Draw. Probably it's quite a good draw as well. I think we probably
Just like normal
wanna-
swap, send something to grave, and then bounce and set flip flop maybe. Or
Yeah,
no, I don't even need to set flip flop here. I could actually just summon Grizzly too.
I would go in and hit with Grizzly. I think if he's got gauze, that's absolutely fine.
I guess an advantage of summon swap would be you can send Toad, so at least it gives you sort of 5 draws to draw a Substitute, because you can draw 3 salvages and then 2 Toads left as well. But I do like sticking a floater on the board.
Yeah,
That is true, but you kind of have the option to
special swap and do it anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good draw. What do we think that is? What keen could it be? Mystic Tomato, do you think?
Yeah, it's probably the tomato that he showed us.
So what's Tomato's defense?
I don't remember. It's low. It's lower than Mulver Grizzly's attack.
Yeah.
Is it lower than Swap Frog's attack, though? If it's 800, I quite like the idea of hitting into it with Swap Frog, and then if he gets another Tomato, you can
What's
crash
11?
into it with Grizzly.
It is 1100, so
Okay, so let's see what it is. Let's check what it is. So we'll summon Swap Frog, and I wanted to see because if it is Tomato, I wanted to summon Swap Frog. Oh, it's Dandy. It's just if it was Tomato, you would just leave it face up and not attack into it with Grizzly.
Yeah.
Set Duke Frog, and then pass. I don't really know what you can do here, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I feel like I'm seeing how like okay, Market a Rose. Cool.
He's going to take Grizzly.
Yep. You got it, boss.
Quite annoying because he's now going to take our access to Substitute offline.
Yeah. Sure.
But this is quite a committal play if he's going to synchro into a level 8 when we have Flip Flop Frog in hand.
Yeah, like, is this gonna be Red Dragon or something? Like, I hope he doesn't think that I have Flip Flop set. That's probably what he thinks, though. Okay, this thing. He's gaining 100 life this turn. That is fine. Alright.
Yeah. So probably just want to get that Unifrog from the grave because there's nothing else that you really
You sure we don't want to search, though? Don't you play two of it?
Yeah, but the other one wants to be in deck if you have access to Substitute.
Okay. I just don't want to draw another Unifrog, but sure.
I get you.
Yeah. You can search when it miss timing. It can never miss timing when dying by battle. That is not a thing. There's no fucking way a card can ever miss timing when dying by battle. Alright. Nice. Okay, well...
I think here
we can special swap and we can play Pot Avarice.
Yeah, we can. It's just if we do that.
Do you want to just set flip flop and just pass? Like I'm.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think that's the better play. For now, anyway.
Okay, I'm fine with this. This is like.
And then.
Without substitute, all the excitement of this deck just completely drained. So I'm just waiting to see like where we're going with this because right now I'm not feeling it. Luckily, he's not really doing anything either. But I feel like we were playing against any of the real decks, we would already be dead.
Against any of the real decks, you'd have probably been able to crash in with a Grizzly and find Substitute.
Probably, I don't know. It was a little sketchy.
Because you have Heavy Storm to push that through against
we would have. Alright. Does he gain anything from that? Probably not. Oh god, don't ask me. You can have your 500. Please have your 500. He's gonna ask me. Please have your 500. Yes. You can have it. I don't even care. You can literally have your 500. That is not going to be the reason why we win or lose this game. I promise. That will have no bearing. You're already fucking -3, -4 now. Oh my god.
I mean, this is actually fine because it's a way to apply pressure.
Yeah.
So he hasn't used that tomato yet, has he?
Nope. That tomato is still just chilling.
Yeah. So I think here we want to make the Avarice live. So we'll special summon Swap Frog, and we'll pitch the Fishbowl Blaster.
Yep.
And we'll send just anything really because that'll put 5 things that aren't Treeborn and Fishborg in the grave.
Oh, I can't. I just can't send this, right?
Send that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So just send like.
Yeah, like you said, this could be anything, right? All right. So then Avarice here.
Yeah, we'll Avarice everything but the Fishborg and the Treeborn.
Avarice everything but the Fishborg and the Treeborn. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5. I swear if I draw a Salvager, I'm gonna be like so mad. Okay, way better. Nice.
Yeah, that is really good.
Now we can cook.
We can cook. I think we can threaten gain here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so you can put 8,000 Wild Brown Necker's Monster onto the board here.
Okay, show me.
So we can just normal summon Substitute and then use its effect, and we'll get Des Frog. Actually, think since we drew one of the Des Frogs, that's not possible because you'd need to cycle through all 3.
Okay.
So instead, we're just gonna. So what do you think the best play into a set potential tomato is, Adam?
Tomato. I'm fine with just attacking it. To be honest, with Des Frogs, and then push through the floaters.
Okay, are we trying to swap Frog into?
So probably rather turn the Fishborg into something. So
okay.
Yeah, just not the spell cards, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, you can like Goyo it, and then just sack it off with Substitute, which would just
Is
be
this shit
okay.
again? You sneaky guy. He's never setting that tomato, apparently. Alright, drop
He
your
isn't.
gores if you have it, or forever hold your peace. Alright, there's no gores in sight. Alright, so main phase 2. My dupe frogs are back in the deck, so we're gonna go for second dupe block here.
We are. So here I would want to protect from Black Rose, because you've got Dandelion and Grave. I think he plays Debris. So I would want to summon Stardust here. So we would do that by summoning Fishborg from the grave by discarding Unifrog, and then synchro with Desfrog and Swap Frog for Stardust Dragon.
I've used Substo's effect though, so
We can just sack off one of the Desfrogs and then summon a Dupe Frog.
okay. Alright,
And
discard
now-
this Unifrog.
Yeah. And then synchro for Stardust. And we're actually just going to go into a better board. We're going to discard Swap Frog, and we're going to summon back Fishborg, and we're going to get the second Dupe Frog. And we're also going to discard 1 for 1 for a Fishborg and get Flip Flop Frog.
Fishborg needs to be banned.
Yeah, it's really good.
This does not seem fair.
When you get these two cards online, this is what I mean by it feels like the most like unfair deck.
Yeah, that just seems really modern
Generally,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
it doesn't take about 10 turns to get here. Normally, sometimes you do it in turn 1.
Yeah, no, I mean the
but,
other
like,
hands we drew
yeah,
against
obviously-
GB. Yeah, the other hands we drew were like, the other hands we drew were way better at accomplishing this goal. We just happened to draw this really
But
slow hand in this
understand,
game.
I understand your hesitation. After saying that sounds good. I don't understand the tournament. There was a time where I pitched a Fishborg and the judge was watching, and he immediately pulled his phone out and started searching something up. Then after the match, I was like, "Were you checking if Fishborg was banned?" And he just laughed and smiled. I think all of the judges had to check whether Fishborg was legal when they were watching him play.
So I think this guy is just going to scoop now because it's kind of a ridiculous board. You kind of need Brain Caius to beat it.
Yeah, this is definitely a Brain Caius or bust field. I know those fields. All right, well that's a start.
That is a start, yeah.
It's similar.
So he's got Tomato and he effectively did have Brain Caius.
He did it. Look at him. Look at him doing stuff. Still not enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah, I think these types of boards are like, obviously you don't want to get Brain Caius on these boards, but they are like fairly resilient to it because either they're leaving you with a dupe block or a sub block or even this other stuff.
Yeah, and now I can actually Goyo him.
I think you might actually be able to Colossal.
Oh,
No, you
I
can't.
don't have any
Colossal
more
Army
Death Frogs.
Yeah, and that's why you can't Colossal Army on either. Although you can, like, there are plays that you can do. Like, you can sacrifice the Tree 1 Frog for a Swap Frog from deck, then pop a Des Frog to add, pop a Dupe Frog, sorry, to add Des Frog from grave to hand.
Is that what you want to do? I can do that.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, because it means you can Goyo him.
And you have a dupe left in the deck as well, so you can sack off the Caius and dupe block him in main phase 2.
Yeah, so now pitch Trapstun. And then sacrifice Swap Frog to tribute summon Des.
Very
and then
nice.
Synchro.
Yeah, this is very, very nice. Look at these combos. This is the combos I wanted to see. Okay.
You ain't
So-
seen nothing yet.
Yeah, I wanna kill this guy in one turn, but we'll see. All right. well, I'm
We
honestly
could have there if we had the Des Frogs in deck.
Yeah, no, I could see like we happened to draw the one Dust Frog and we used them last turn to make the Stardust. So, okay, here we are. This can go in
And then we
defense.
just-
This is still just sitting in attack. And then do we want to like reinforce
So,
the field?
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
sack off the Caius for a second dupe.
I would as well.
One, two darks. Okay, because I don't know if he's playing Dark Armed,
I
but
doubt he'll be playing. I would be surprised. He's
I
got Tomato.
wouldn't only because he's playing Tomato as well, and I'm noticing he has a lot of darks. Like he plays Plague Spreader, Tomato, and Caius, so I think that his deck could handle a Dark Arm
Potentially, yeah.
because he probably plays like Gores as well. Like I imagine. Cool. Hot hours. Damn. Well, it's free.
So this actually kind of board locks you there, because you've got no swap frogs left in deck by summoning the
Right.
Treeborn.
But I do have a Unifrog, right? Because he is 12 turns away from dying to Unifrog. So we might start the world's longest clock right now. All right, guy. It's time. This is that tomato, by the way, that we've been looking for like the whole game.
It definitely is, yeah.
Oh, Tariko.
He
He is
said
never. We are never seeing this fucking tomato like ever in life. Also, how bold of him. 1, 2. Oh, he has exactly 3 darks. I'm telling you, it's coming. And we're about to get dark armed. Dark arm is coming down next turn. I hope you're ready. All right.
So I would have attacked with Unifrog while he had the set monster first to play around
Gores. I've been trying to get him to drop Gores too, but I know he doesn't have Gores because he literally had multiple turns to drop it. He just refuses. So I've given up on him having cards. One of these is tomato, and the other 2 I have no idea. But he showed a tomato turn 1. I swear. He's gonna be like Dark Arm, Mark of the Rose, kill you.
Surely not.
Okay. All right, you got me.
If you absolutely want to kill him next turn, you can I think you can just go some or make a Brio advance his monster if you certain he doesn't have gauze.
What's his life? I can't see it on my
4,400.
44, yeah.
So
How bad do you want to kill him?
So this is just this. Yeah, we'll just go for game here.
So, are we bringing back Treeborn?
No.
All right.
So we'll just use heavy and get rid of his back row.
Oh, we're just making Brio. Oh.
Yeah, make Brio. And if he's got gauze, then we can just take it with Goyo.
Yep.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He finally set the tomato. And what did it cost him? Everything. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I've not got a side deck plan for this deck.
Yeah, I don't think you would, because it's not a real deck. I don't think we need trap stuns. To be honest,
No, I agree.
I'm actually going to put in these because these are just generically good cards.
Yeah, I agree. I also quite probably like something like Gauze against this deck as well, because that's a generically good card.
Yeah, just stuff like that. What would I even?
Yeah, so we can side out the second uni.
Yeah, let's go with this. Yeah.
I
think he's fine as well because it protects your board from the marker.
I like that as well. Yeah.
What is it?
MST
for a dead frog, and you can put in maybe
what do you want to take out to put this MST in?
So I will put an MST and a dust for a death frog and a Moray of Greed.
Yeah.
Fair.
Because we're taking out some water cards, so you've got less waters for Moray.
And the Unifrog generally comes out because we want some harder removal. I mean, I don't know what this deck plays, but against Black Wings, for example, we might want harder removal versus oppression.
Yep. Also, he plays Market Rose, so Dustinado and MST are pretty good against him.
Yeah, exactly. If you block.
Hey, we drew 2 side
cards. We've got a playable combo hand here. Well,
yeah, this hand's nice.
So I want to draw a water here. This hand is really good.
You got Fishbog. This is a good hand.
It is a good hand. Yeah.
All right, what's the play? Special, send Substitute, and then add it back?
Yes.
And what are we... All right, so we're going to go Declare.
The reason why it would have been nice to draw water is because you could pitch the water to summon the Fishbog, and then don't need to add the Fishbog back from the salvage. But yeah, we're going to salvage. But obviously, a lot of people don't know that Crow doesn't actually fizzle salvage. You can still get to add the other target.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah.
All right.
So just, I think here, we probably just want to play around Soul Release because we've got the luxury to do so. So we just want to send one Treeborn to the grave. Not that I don't think this guy will have any idea to play Soul Release.
So after we send Treeborn, what are we doing?
So I would go into another swap frog and send a substitute. And now I think I would bounce the swap frog to hand while discarding the fishborg, because you want to get the fishborg back in the grave to combo with. Yeah, and then we'll send the have we got another substitute in deck? I will send the last one. And now salvage, add back 2 substitutes. And then pitch one of them for fishborg. And then we can sack that off for a dead frog. So I would want to hit here with swap frog first in case it is tomato.
Yeah.
And then if it is tomato, we won't attack it with dead frog. But if it's dandelion, we can kill both tokens. Yeah. Yeah, and now we're just going to duplock here. I actually think it might be better to summon to duplock and then sack off the substitute for a flip-flop frog as well, because we have a substitute in hand.
So turn these into dupe frog and then just go into dupe frog flip-flop?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I like this. I like this a lot.
And this could have blocked because a lot of the sort of we'll end a lot of turns with access to sub or a sub in hand, either by bouncing it with like swap frog or something. So we're sort of having the luxury to end with flip flop on the board as well.
Yeah, this is strong. I mean, we have 6 cards to his 6. We went second, and we also are getting Treeborn on our next turn, so we're going to go to 8 cards in total to his 6. So we're going to be +2 on next turn if he doesn't do something crazy here.
Exactly, and we've got much better board presence because flip flop frog can stop him from setting anything and stuff like that.
And we found that we'll actually just win a lot of games just off frog boards like this by just chipping away with like swap frogs and uni frogs, and like it's just death by 1,000 cuts really. Like you start chipping away at the life just with like these flutters. You make them play in a certain way where they can't stick a monster on the board, or they can't set back row, or the forces like bluffs to try and mask real traps from Unifrog as well.
Okay, he's taking one. Is this about to be Kais again? I mean, I guess technically his deck plays more copies of Brain Control than most, so I can't be too mad.
So he's just gonna try and...
I know he's not waiting on... I was about to say, you cannot be waiting on me for a response for that. Alright, he can do what he wants.
He can, like, what's this, 8 stars? There's not really anything good that he can summon here, because it just gets bounced back by a flip-flop.
This audio.
Red Dragon, okay.
This is good. Okay, so this dies, this dies. Okay.
So we'll add. We'll want to add from the graveyard. I think it would be best to add. It's between Swap Frog and Flip Flop, and I think it's probably just going to be Flip Flop from the grave. Do you see what I mean about how it's important to keep frogs in deck for your substitute? That was the worst draw you possibly could have drawn.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so do we have access?
Okay, so
I think honestly, he's not setting any back rows. If you wait a turn, well, 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, we just can Colossal Armory on him here.
Oh shit.
So yeah, we've got level 2s in the deck. We've got Des Frogs in the deck. We've got a Des Frog left in the deck. So I just need to check if that is correct. Yeah, we can. So we're just going to summon Substitute. And then get the Des Frog. And then summon Fishborg by pitching. We're going to use all of our cards here. So,
Okay, hopefully he doesn't fucking DD Crow us.
well, if he DD Crows us now, it's still fine. Well, actually, probably not. But yeah, so we'll just sack off the Fishborg for a level 2 frog. Yep. And then we will pitch a card for Fishborg again. And we'll synchro for Colossal with Fishborg, Swap Frog, and Des Frog. And now we'll just pitch any of our cards summoned by Fishborg.
This is funny. Oh god.
And sack that off for a level 2.
This is just something.
Uni.
There's the uni. Okay, good. There's the uni.
And then we pitch that for Fishborg and synchro for Armion.
That is quite broken.
Yeah, it's like you just need those 2 cards and you can do so much. I'm surprised that guy knew what.
Yeah, I'm glad that he did, because I was like, oh god, am I gonna have to explain this? Because he's like not scooping, but he scooped the second the Armion hit the field. Like he knew, all right, I'm cooked, which I appreciate because I did not want to have to talk about like this very basic Yu-Gi-Oh classic combo. It's actually really cool though that we got to show off this part of the deck because I mean, out of nowhere, he just died from 8,000. Like literally, was dueling one moment and then just lost like instantly. That's pretty cool. And
yeah, so if you have 6 cards in your circulation with Fishborg in your grave and Substitoad as one of your 6 cards, you can always Colossal Army.
Yeah, that's terrifying. It takes 6 cards though to do it, you said?
It does, but so of course Treeborn is an extra card that comes, and you also play cards like Pot of Avarice, Salvage, and Dandy, which are more than 1 card to combo with. Yeah. So it's not really that hard to pick up 6 cards.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Pretty cool as well. Like you can make 2 Gaia Knights and a Goyo with a Substitute on the board. So going into a clear board, that's 81 damage. And if they gauze you, you can just take it with Goyo and then block them in main phase 2. So there's quite a lot of lines.
Yeah, that's a really strong line too. I like that this deck has a lot of these obscure lines that your opponent, even if they have, let's say, the out to live, it's not a good out. Like you lose your Gores, and then main phase 2, I can full dupe. Like still dupe lock you and flip flop lock you and just continue on with my tyranny.
Yeah, you can. Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty broken. I like this. I mean, the deck is definitely good. Like it's a frog deck already, so I already like it because I love the frog playstyle. Like it just, why can't you be playing the bad version with Monarchs? Life's not fair, bro.
But yeah, there is quite a lot of lines, and there's a lot of times when I've been playing it, and it just feels like you're picking it up for the first time, even though I was been playing it for weeks. And as you can see from like when Allisdair, like in the first game when Allisdair was telling you all the lines you can make, there is quite a lot of decisions to be made, and obviously you're just thinking through. But again, you do need to play in a timely manner, so it can be quite difficult. But
yeah, I'll probably play around with this in paper because the only book is so slow. Like it's just much harder to literally use your deck.
There's a lot of shortcuts you can make when you're playing in person as well.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's so fun. It's really rewarding to play as well. Like
this seems like a deck that's good to play well.
Frog. Yeah. You can just play with frogs, and then when you see the Fishborg, you're playing even better Yu-Gi-Oh! And then when you start synchroing, you start doing some really unfair stuff. Like I hope we've been able to demonstrate with like the Stardust boards and then this OTK as well.
Yeah,
I would say also
awesome.
that it is awesome with regards to time, because you were just talking about time. In Ultimate Time Wizards, they obviously have different time rules. It's end of phase and then the game ends if time is called. We did make a little mistake, I think, with this deck in the fact that we didn't have Psychic Life Transfer in the extra deck. But it's only relevant just for the time in the Ultimate Time Wizard. But you can just summon Android and then tribute it off with Substitute and summon Psychic Life Transfer. And that is a way to manipulate your life points in the main phase, which is really relevant.
Yeah, that's pretty broken too.
Because I think Allisdair lost the first round because there was like 20 seconds on the clock and you had a Colossal Army Arm go straight to battle phase in 20 seconds, and it's just not happening with this deck. Because obviously it's within our best interest to play like as fast as possible because we need as much time on the clock to do the combos. But obviously if you've got a minute left in main phase 1, it gives you like an alternate way to win. it's not like we would be losing otherwise most of the time if you got like a full combo.
Right.
But it gives you like an actual way to win a game. You should have won regardless.
Yeah, I like that logic. Main phase 1 being able to gain life or burn is actually relevant in real life. So that's something cool. Because you guys don't play Kaya, so at least you have like this other option, which is a more consistent option than having to draw Kayas.
Yeah. And it's like it's no different to like how modern decks play like it's the burn card in the side deck or something. So it's just unfortunate we'll have to sort of include the card in the deck. It's not how I want to play, but it's got to be done.
What would you cut?
Probably a Gaia, I think. I know that there's an OTK where you can summon 2 guys in a Goyo, but you can still, with the same amount of cards, summon Swap Frog, Des Frog, Binac, and Goyo, and that uses the same amount of cards, and it still threatens 8,000.
Okay.
So you maybe don't necessarily need to play that second Gaia.
I think you could also cut like Red Dragon Archfiend or something. I think Allisdair might have played Thought Ruler. Like I've literally summoned that card once. Like I don't think it'd be a big miss to not play it. But,
I mean, I think Thought Ruler is good. If we're talking about putting Psychic Life Transfer in for the Essence of Time, I think Thought Ruler should also be a priority at that point. If that's the idea of putting in a Life Transfer.
I mean, I agree. I play Thought Ruler anyway. I don't play Red Dragon. Yeah, it would be Gaia that gets cut for the Psychic Life Transfer.
Yeah.
But only if you're playing on ranked, there's no point. Like you don't go into time, so it would have no effect. So
Right. He finally set the tomato after 10,000 years.
I think the second game was definitely a better showcase of the deck. Like we played with the frogs and then we killed them. So
Yeah, Salvage is a crazy card. It's kind of an underused card, I feel like, too.
oh, it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Salvage.
especially in
Salvage
this deck,
pot.
yeah, that's fun. Just let it grind so hard as well.
Yeah, people do
like
not like this deck. They do not like playing against this shit.
But yeah, the amount of times that people have gone like, this is like unplayable to play against because it just takes so long for you to do your stuff.
Yeah, if you have patience, like as the frog player, you can just win off of people's impatience. Like he just look at what he's doing. He's just like, I just want to get through this.
Yeah, that's just flat out game here.
And it just comes with practice with the deck, like sort of knowing how many cards like the combos take. It's not really a flow chart. It's more just recognizing like Colossal Fight has 3 cards in your possession, so like discards for Fishborg or just monsters on board. Same with Army Arm, but obviously things change when you're playing like Beals Frog and stuff as well. But I think just with practice with the deck, you'll realize sort of the boards you want to make, and then how many cards it takes to get there.
Yeah, you guys definitely have this mastered.
But it's pretty tricky.
I really like it, and I probably will test around with it just because I think it'll help me to learn more frog stuff that's not necessarily just hero frogs. So that can be good to just understand, because maybe then I'll end up building another build of hero frogs that incorporates some of the ideas from this type of frog deck.
Well, I think it's definitely worth doing. Like, and when you play stuff like this and you play stuff like Flip Flop Frog in your deck, you really start to notice the value of a card like Flip Flop. Do you play that card, Fraser, in your hero frog? I don't think you do.
No, I don't play Flip Flop Frog. I was going to side it because I do like it against certain matchups. I only want it against certain matchups. When I think the matchups is good against, it's really good against, like Vayu and Diva Hero and stuff like that. Like it just ruins those decks. Amaryllis is the number one. Outside Dark Death Spirit and Karma Cuff Amaryllis, Dark Death Spirit really helps against that deck because it obviously doesn't target and it kills Titanio, and it's like it's the gift that keeps on giving. So if
and it helps you play around Mark as well because it goes back to your hand.
Correct.
So,
it kind of it's kind of a catch-all. Also, I like that it's duplicative in the sense that it's good against the mirror match too, because in the mirror match, the person who has the most Caiuses or whatever usually can just like outgun the other person if there's no Vanity's Theme minigame. So like if you have a DDS, the Dark Death Spirit, and it just keeps on getting summoned over and over again, it could be, if they don't have something to stop it, it's just like really bad for the other person if they can't stop a Dark Death Spirit. Like I've been soloed by a Dark Death Spirit before, and it made me realize like, oh my god, that card in the mirror match is insane.
It is insane. It's soloed me before as well.
Yeah, it does not feel good. It's like, bro, he just keeps coming down, and if I summon a Monarch, sure, but then he goes Dark Death Spirit again, and he doesn't even need another Monarch. Like he can just play off of that one card, which is crazy.
Yeah, you kind of need like Regeki break or something to deal with it.
Yeah. But okay, well, thank you guys so much for stopping by the channel. Also, congrats, Adam, for making top 8 at UK Nationals. Pretty good showing. And I mean, it would be nice if, you know, Konami decided to give specific prize support to everybody in top 8 for Ultimate Time Wizard tournaments going forward. I would like if they start doing that. Like, we should get our own special mat or something. That'd be great. Because I feel like everybody. I know, bro. Listen, I've topped like so many of these things now, and I've gotten hamster mats. It's like, okay. You can get a hamster mat by playing.
I didn't get a playmat.
They didn't even give you a playmat?
We didn't get a playmat. We didn't even. So the prizes were too big to be confirmed, and when they were to be confirmed up until top 8, where we got told we weren't getting any prizing in first place, was a giant MST. Second and third were oversized, and then we had to go to the customer service to sort of complain, and then we got like 24 points for the prize wall, and by the time we got our points, everything good was gone. So
yeah. That's what happens too.
I didn't get a mat. I really wanted that mat, but
that's crazy. They didn't even give you guys the mat. And even in these states, you get the raffle ticket things for the prize wall after the whole tournament concludes, which really so if you top, you basically don't really get anything because there's nothing left to really get. So I
think I got 24 OTS packs and then pulled bulk. So
yeah, that is very unfortunate. But they can definitely do better for the prize support. We should have an Absolute Zero mat or a Christia mat or something that people actually would, you know, want to own or sell and make a decent amount. Because that would be those mats, the ones I just named, they would be really expensive actually. But yeah, they made Absolute Zero Christie into a playmat. That would be fucking so much money. But it'd be really cool just to have another thing like, oh, if I top this tournament, I actually get something instead of like I've been there where I topped and I was like, okay, I got a hamster mat, which I have like 10 of those now. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you all later. And again, thank you for stopping by the channel and sharing your deck with me. Thank you for coaching me through this session. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.